Hey everyone, my name is Jazz, and I'm joined today by Melz, who is a semi-pro player with close to $1,000 in earnings.
Yo, what's up? My name is Melz, and I play Fortnite semi-competitively.
I figured it would make for a good person to interview because he's probably more relatable than full-time pro players, and I feel like his advice could be quite valuable to you guys. All right, Melz, we'll start with some questions to get to know you a bit as a player, um,
Okay.
and we'll kind of start with a duo game, just kind of have it on in the background. It's not too important if we win or not, but if we win, it'd be embarrassing. So if we don't win, all right. First question: how long have you been playing Fortnite, and what has your experience been like?
Um. Okay, so I'm a controller player to start off. So I started off on console, way back, like pre-season one. Um. Pretty much played up until maybe season 7 or 8, and then I took a break. And around World Cup time, I bought a PC and got sort of into competitively, but wasn't really taking the game seriously until maybe around trios, and that's when I started having the most fun, really.
Okay. Um, and then is trios your favorite game mode, or what's your favorite game mode?
Yeah, I would say I don't know if it was because of the time frame or what, but I definitely had the most fun playing trios because I don't know. I just feel like it's a really teamwork based game mode, and it's a really good feeling when you are getting good placements in a game like that.
It's kind of a sweet swap between duos and like squads. Like,
Yeah, I feel
uh,
like I didn't like squads. I really like duos, but I feel like trios is almost the perfect mix, and I'm kind of hoping for that next season to come back.
yeah. Um, and then what is the main reason that you kind of like Fortnite, or what got you into the game?
I feel like just the skill gap is so different to every other game. Like before that, I've been playing games like maybe Call of Duty, where obviously I was good at the game, but there's no real huge boundary between someone who's good and amazing.
Right.
Whereas in Fortnite, you have all the different aspects of building, editing, and it just seemed like a game that I could get significantly better than other people at, which kind of interested me.
For sure. I think that's what interests a lot of people. Like, there's basically always something you can do to improve. Like, there's barely any like real skill ceilings.
Yeah, exactly. You can always improve on something in the game. I don't think anyone has reached their max potential yet.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Um, so you said to yourself like the different aspects of the game. There's lots of them. What's kind of your main like strength?
Funny enough, even though I'm on controller, I actually have a very good like game sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't worry, some controller players have good aim sense.
yeah,
It's not all aim.
exactly. No, but I'd say I can really like pop off in end games and stuff because I've I don't know. I feel like I really understand the game well in those kind of situations, so I can really shine in end game especially. Other
Nice.
aspects as well, like I'm obviously good at building and stuff, but
Yeah,
aiming
but
obviously.
but like if you had to name one thing, it'd probably be a game sense.
I would say so, yeah.
Cool.
That's
Um,
why I'm not overly worried about the patch coming in a month or two, or a week or
that's
two.
funny. I have the exact same thing. Like my I really don't use the SMGs a lot and stuff. I'm kind
Yeah.
of, you know, keep my distance usually. Um, all right. So what's your main like kind of weakness then?
Oh, I feel like it's kind of a mixed bag for me. Like depending on the game mode, really, I feel like in solos it has to be mentality. It's just like solos is a real thing for me where like I've made money from solo cash cups and then a week later I could play 3 games, get 12 points and quit. You
I
know?
say
Like
kind of like a downward spiral. Like once you,
yeah, it's really hard to expect. Like for example, this week I played the solo cash cup, didn't do great. The week before I came top 400 on EU and East, so I was hoping to kind of maybe even qual this week, but I don't know. It's a real I think it's the worst thing for people in my position, like where you're not at a pro level, but you're obviously good at the game. It's
you're
like,
like right on that edge,
yeah, it's like
or you're not Benji
that
Fishy quelling every
motivation
like
to,
you know.
really try and pop off in a tournament. And if you're you're not doing good to stay focused and whatnot, and really grind the game.
Good job with the big pot.
Yeah.
Thank you. So and you said for solo specifically. What about like duos or teammate like team modes?
Duos or weakness? Maybe like semi-finals and like obviously in opens it's more of like a WT type thing. So me and my duo we're very good at like
Pushing.
I don't know, yeah, pushing and playing good in opens. But when it came to the semis, it was real like just kind of an average performance, like right in the middle between the round 2 of duo cash cups and semis of FNCS. It's like we weren't getting to the point where we were getting close to money or qualing for the like finals, but we were just kind of in the middle. So
I see.
Yeah, so that
I
was
think,
the big weakness.
do you feel like that would kind of be improved once you get more experience in those like
Yeah,
semis?
I definitely think so. I think
sure.
it was the same in trios actually as well. Like qualified for 4 out of the 5 trio semifinals, and I don't know, it was just kind of really average performance in every semi, but we absolutely dominated opens, like top 400 almost every week and stuff.
So
Yeah, so it was just kind of I would say just kind of getting that extra bit of improvement in semifinals. Be able to
let's
get to the top.
kill these guys real quick. Headshot one. Cool beans. So it kind of bleeds into the next question, which is going to be kind of like how do you improve your game? So like if you have a weakness, how do you feel like you fix it?
Okay, so I think I've been thinking about that a lot recently actually. Where like, how do you go from being, I guess, an aspiring pro to like getting to the point where you're qualifying for finals and making
Or being a bit more consistent or something?
and making money off the game consistently. And I think the one thing I've taken from, because I have a lot of people that I know that have kind of done that, and the one thing I've taken is just you literally just have to play the game a lot. Like that's literally as simple as that. And like VOD review after every tournament that see where you're going wrong.
You really have to put in like the work and the hard, not just the easy parts. You can't just play all day and expect to get better massively.
No, you can't, like, it's a mix as well. Like, you have to play a lot, but don't waste your time playing, like, Zone Wars or something all day. Like, you have to be practicing when you're playing.
Playing against good players and actually kind of like actively improving instead of just playing.
And just play every tournament, like every single one. Like, anything, daily duo cup, like, it's all gonna make you get better as a player. Like, even if it doesn't seem like it really does. That's the main thing I can take.
And so if you say like play every day and stuff like that, how much time do you play every day?
Right now, I would say 6 hours of actual.
On average, of course.
What'd you say?
On average, of course. That's what I.
Yeah, I would say somewhere around 6 hours of actual game time. Depends. So some days it could be more. Like maybe on a tournament day, I could warm up for like 3 hours and then play like 2 regions. Depends.
Okay.
And then if you qualify for round 2, obviously that's like 5 hours. So it depends. It all depends. But I've been on average about 6.
Do you ever take breaks? Like, do you spend a day not playing, or?
Yeah, I think you need breaks as well. Like, you can't play the game like completely 24/7. I think it was in squads actually. I took like the longest break. It was kind of like a month off just before Winter Royale because I really wasn't enjoying squads and I didn't have a good squad, and I don't know, at that stage I hadn't made a lot of money from the game at all. So I was kind of like, know what, I'm just gonna take a break, focus on other things, and then come back when a tournament's announced. And then obviously Winter Royale got announced and made some money in that, and kind of got motivated again and whatnot.
Nice. Um, so like when you do play, like how much time do you spend playing tournaments? How much time do you spend like playing creative? How much time do you warm up? Like what's kind of the time like distribution?
I would say when I first get on, it's definitely just creative. I would say even for an hour, maybe two. I don't know. Depends on like if I'm just relaxing, I would just warm up in creative for like half of an hour, then go into like zone wars and creative and warm up, and then depends what's on that day. So if there's no tournament, I'll probably just play scrims
Mm-hmm.
or like yeah. And
And
then if there
then
obviously is a tournament, I would play scrims before the tournament, and then just go into the tournament.
how much time would you spend like warming up before a tournament? And kind of what do you feel like is a sweet spot? Like if you feel, don't you feel like you get tired if you warm up too long?
Yeah, I feel like 2 hour warm up, 3 hour most is kind of what works for me. Because otherwise, I feel kind of towards the end of the tournament, I get really tired. I think that happened to me naturally. The first duo like contender cash up thing that they had the 2 round system. When we got to round two, it was like I was just the last hour or two of it. I was just so like tired and I wasn't playing that great at all because I played like 4 hours before the cup, you know. So I was I'd almost been playing the game for like 7 hours when that started. So it was really like tiring.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of touched on it already, but like, how do you deal with setbacks? So like what you said earlier about first doing well in solos and then the week after playing not really what you're used to.
I feel like it's just a mix of knowing where you went wrong, but also not overthinking it. Like,
Not stressing too
you
much.
know, just
Or
don't like sit there and think like, oh, I'm awful at the game because you don't do good in one tournament. I feel like, you know,
kind of like shit
kind
happens
of
or something.
yeah, like take the approach like there's, you know, I can always just improve next week and
Mm-hmm.
see where I went wrong and stuff.
It's funny. I definitely touched on that in one of my videos not too long ago. Like how you can't really you shouldn't get too down on yourself.
No, I
Focus
feel
more on
like
your on like what you can do better.
I mean, that's true.
So next question is kind of about like skill ceilings. So do you ever feel like you hit a skill ceiling? Like you feel like you can't really like you feel like you kind of hit, like you're not really improving much, or you haven't been improving for the past like week or a month or so.
I feel like that was definitely around squads, maybe. Like after trios, obviously this is before like, or I don't know if linear was actually in the game at this stage, but I didn't use it. I know that, and I feel
Sorry,
like
I didn't catch what you said. The what was in the game?
linear, like I
Oh,
think
linear, right?
you know, because obviously when linear came out, like it made building and stuff a lot like
Smoother.
smoother. So I obviously got instantly better at you know building and editing. But before that, there was kind of maybe I'd say 3 weeks where I was thinking to myself like I don't know how to you know improve that much because I felt like I was kind of staying at the same level for like a long time. But since like linear and stuff came out, I feel like I've been just constantly improving. To be honest.
Great. I mean, that's the best feeling. Like if you feel like
Yeah.
if you feel like you're constantly improving, like that's awesome. Usually, kind of goes in like steps, you know, where you feel like you're improving a lot, and then maybe kind of goes down a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, there obviously is points like that. Like I feel when duos first got announced, like FNCS,
Mm-hmm.
it was maybe like just at one point we were doing really good, like you know, and that was obviously like an amazing feeling when you're doing really really good.
Sure.
Like yeah, but that was kind of, I would say that was when I was improving the most, and now it's obviously slowed down a bit because there's not as many like serious tournaments. It's just cash cups and whatnot. But I'm still improving like my solo placements and stuff, trying to get better and better.
Do you feel like it's a lot harder to improve when there's no serious tournaments going on? Like, what about scrims and stuff like that?
I feel like yes, but also it's the best time to improve because it's when the people in your position, but like the similar kind of position, aren't playing as much, so you have to kind of, you know, really play to get ahead of them.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's kind of a best time to improve because you kind of like feel like you're getting ahead of the game.
Yeah, I feel like because everyone in, you know, the position you're in, where they're trying to get better at the game, they'll grind like crazy when maybe FNCS is out, but when stuff like this is out, it's a kind of dry period. They might not play some of the cash cups, or they might kind of take them not seriously. So I think the best thing to do is just take everything seriously, whether it's off season or, you know,
whether it's like an arena game or a scrim or a tournament,
exactly,
it's all play kind of the same.
Just try.
Same mentality, at least.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was actually between FNCS and Winter Royale, it was like a really dry period of the game. I think it was like a month, and I just grinded like box fights and my mechanics like so much during that time, and it helped like a lot.
I was actually about to ask about that. About do you feel like you mainly improve mechanics in the downtime or also game sense?
Right now I would say game sense, but definitely kind of around Winter Royale time it was mechanics. So yeah, I mean it's, I don't know. I think it's whatever I feel like needs working. And also a balance.
Oh, it's 2 teams.
These guys are very good at the game.
I guess they're not taking it serious enough, you know? So you also have a YouTube, right?
Yeah, I do.
And do you spend much time like growing that as well?
Recently, yes. I think that's honestly the thing I've been doing most in the downtime, is actually learning how to edit to kind of improve my content.
I don't know.
Because it was just a matter of putting clips into an editing software and clicking render. And now I'm actually like trying to, you know, edit them and make my content good so I can grow fan base or whatever you want to call it. And it has been growing a lot recently, which is good to see.
You're just killing all of them. Couldn't even find them.
Oh, but yeah.
Do you feel like it's hard to balance like improving in the game and also working on YouTube? Because I can imagine that it takes a lot of time.
No, actually, I think that's when it's like, remember you were asking earlier, like, do you feel like you need breaks and stuff? And
okay.
I feel like that's kind of the perfect thing to do in your
downtime.
Yeah, or like not even if you're taking a day off, just like, because obviously I stay up like quite late at night, so I could be editing a video at like 2 a.m. and there's no scrims and arena's dead, and you know, I just kind of do that until I go to bed, and then, you know, so kind of
improve by day, edit by night.
It's kind of
yeah, cool.
Because obviously with this whole Corona thing, like there really is nothing to do, like, so I'm
Yeah.
grinding the game right now.
How do you feel like that's affected like the game or yourself?
I feel like obviously I spend more time on the game, but I also feel like I'm spending more time, what's called, wasting. Like I'm on the game, but maybe I'm not doing much, you know. Like I don't know. I feel like when I had school and stuff, I kind of had a structure. Like I'd say to my duo or whatever, oh, when I get home we can play scrims, and then we would. But now it's kind of like, yeah, like now it's more kind of, I get on, I play a bit of creative, kind of, you know, I waste wastes a lot of time, but it's still good.
I see. So you feel like the lack of structure makes it a little bit harder, but you do have extra time?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much it, yeah. I have more time, but I don't spend it as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see. I think for a lot of people that's the case, where they kind of feel like a little bit less productive.
I think that's kind of like just back to the point, like the main thing that I genuinely think is just how you get better is literally just playing the game, like not being on the game, just playing it like a lot. Like I remember you might know a guy called Hardfind.
Yes.
Yeah, he was probably the biggest grinder I'd ever seen. Like he would upload every day to YouTube. He would play 10 hours a day, and he still does it up to now. And that's why he went from like a content creator to like one of the best pros in EU right now.
I think that's
And
definitely a good example, yeah.
yeah, like he went from grinding YouTube and these like clans that are helping you build a name but aren't paying you anything to like becoming one of the better pros in EU.
I see the same. So closing in on the end of the interview, I've got like one final question. Is maybe like, do you have any final pieces of advice for people looking to improve?
Um, I think back to that mix of knowing what you need to improve on. So don't try and improve in stuff you're already good at and ignore your weaknesses. Focus on what you're bad at
Mm-hmm.
and maybe get other people's opinions as well. Like obviously someone like you,
Thanks.
to kind of assess what you're doing wrong and figure out what you need to improve on and then work on that and then also just play the game a lot. Try not to lose motivation.
Sure. I think that's some solid advice. And then finally, do you have anything you want to shout out, like your YouTube? I'll put it in the description anyways, but maybe your Twitter.
I think just mainly, obviously, my Twitter is Melz fan, but mainly, yeah, my YouTube. It is growing right now. It's like 1.8k subs. I post weekly, so that'd be great if you could
All right.
subscribe to that, I guess.
Sounds good. I know I have. All right, man. I guess this will be the end, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.